Good morning students. In the last session we learned about the basic concept of geometry. Now in this session also I am going to explain some more concept. Now the congruent segment. What is mean by the congruent segment? Congruent means same. Same means equal measure. Okay. Similar is different. Congruent is different. So don't be confused in these two words. Congruent, if the length of two segments are equal, then two segments are congruent. Listen here, AB having a length 5 cm, CD also having a length 5 cm. In the above figure, what we can say? AB is equal to CD. It means that the segment AB is congruent with segment CD. Okay, congruent segments means they should be equal measure. Okay, now properties of congruent segment. Which are the properties? First property, reflexivity or reflexive property. Reflexivity means what? The meaning of the reflexive property congruence is that a segment, an angle, a triangle or any shape is always congruent to itself, is always equal to itself. Means AB is always equal to AB, obviously. Okay, any figure, triangle is there, ABC triangle, ABC is equal to always triangle ABC. Means every figure is always congruent to itself. For example, AB is congruent to AB. The segment, how to read is, this is a congruent symbol. This symbol is congruent. This symbol is congruent. So segment AB is congruent or equal to segment AB. Symmetry property, second property. The meaning of symmetry property of a congruency is that if the figure or any figure A is congruent or equal to another figure B, then B is also congruent to A. Means A is equal to B. Then you can say that B is also equal to A. For example, if AB is congruent with CD, means segment AB is congruent with CD, we can say that CD is also congruent with AB. So this symbol is for congruency. Don't be forget. Now third property, transitive property of a congruency. Transitive means if A figure is congruent with B and B is congruent with C, then we can say that A is congruent with C. Now see, the meaning of the transitive property is that if the figure A is congruent or equal to another figure and that another figure is congruent to third figure, then you can say that A is also congruent with that third figure. Now see here, for example, if AB is congruent with CD, CD is congruent with EF, then what we can say that EF is congruent with AB or AB is congruent with EF. That is called as a transitivity. So reflexivity, symmetric and transitivity. These are the three property of congruency. So remember it, because at the time of solving example we have to use this. Then next concept is midpoint of a segment. The midpoint of a segment is the point on the segment that is equidistant from the end point. For example, in the diagram see, AB is the line, A is the two end, A and B are the end points, M is the midpoint. Why? When M is the midpoint? If your AM is equal to MB. The segment AM is equal to segment MB. It means that M is the midpoint of AB. Means M is the equidistance from endpoint A and B. It means that in the example, listen here, A and B, M is in between AB. How? Such a way that segment AM is equal to segment MB. Then M is the midpoint of AB. So in the figure, AM is equal to MB is equal to half of AB. So every segment have only one end midpoint. Always remember that every segment have only one midpoint. So comparison of a segment, see here, if length of AB is less than length of CD, means which segment is greater or which is smaller. If you are looking towards this AB and CD segment, obviously you can say that CD is bigger than AB, or you can say that AB is bigger than CD. So these are the two symbols to use for the comparison of a segment. Now ray AB, suppose A and B are the two distinct points. Okay, the union set of the point is on the segment AB and point P such that ABP, see here, means there is only one point which is infinite. Here it is a fixed point. So this point is A is called as the end point of ray AB. This A point is called as the end point of ray AB. Line AB. Line means both side. Means a union of set A, ray AB as well as opposite is means ray BA and ray AB, because it is both having the infinite points, and therefore this union of ray AB and opposite ray are the set called as a line AB. The set of the point of segment AB is a subset of point of line. Means this, if you are considering from this point to this point only, it means that this segment is subset of your line. The segment is subset of your line. Next. Now perpendicularity of the segment or ray. Perpendicular means what? If the line containing the two segment, two ray or ray and a segment are perpendicular to each other, then the segment, ray or the segments are said to be perpendicular to each other. Simple here, no need to read only. Here see the symbol, this is a perpendicular. Means AB is perpendicular to CD, or you can say that CD is perpendicular to AB. It means that this angle should be a 90 degree. Okay, this angle should be a 90 degree. Now some example I am going to explain. Now see, the following table shows the point on the number line and their coordinate. See here, A having -3, B having 5, C having 2, D having -7, E having 9. In the last session I explained you how to find out the distance if the coordinates are given. So same here, see here, the coordinate of point E is 9 and D is -7. So what is the distance? Which is bigger? 9 is greater than minus of 7, and therefore distance of D comma is equal to 9. 9 minus of -7 is equal to 9 plus 7, 16. So length of D is 16. Find out AB length. A having a coordinate -3, B having 5. 5 is greater than -3. So my 5 minus -3 is equal to 5 plus 3, that is equal to 8. So 16 is greater than 8. So they are equal? No, and therefore from first and second we can say that length D is not equal to length AB. So they are not a congruent. Okay. Second example, see. Coordinate of B and C. B having 5, C having 2. So B is greater than C, that is 5 is greater than 2. Therefore the length of BC is 5 minus 2, that is 3. Okay, the coordinate of point A and D. A is equal to -3, D is -7. So -3 is greater than -7, and therefore the length of AD is equal to 4. Now see, this is 3 and 4. They are equal? No, they are not a congruent. In same way, find out the BE distance, find out the AD distance, compare the value. If they are equal, then you can say that the segments are congruent. If they are not equal, then write down they are not a congruent. Understood? Now next question. Simple question I am going to. Point M is the midpoint of segment AB. M is a midpoint, means if it is a midpoint, then you can say that it is equidistant from the end point. Therefore AM is equal to MB. If AB is equal to 8, total length of the segment is given, that is 8. Then find the length of AM. Obviously length of AM is half of length of AB, because M is the midpoint of a segment. In the geometry, to mention the reason is very important. So length of AM is equal to half of 8. It is equal to 4. So in second, point P is the midpoint of segment CD. If CP is equal to 2.5, which this CP, then find the length of CD. Length of CD, what is length of CP? It is half of length of CD. So 2.5 is equal to half of length of CD. So length of CD is equal to, this 2 we have to shift to a right side. What you will get? 2.5 multiplied by 2. So length of CD is equal to 5. And this is, we have to remember here, we have to write here, because P is the midpoint of CD. Why we can take this? Because this P is a midpoint of CD. So in this way you have to calculate. So all this question you have to mention in your notebook properly, and all the concept you have to learn.